Hey guys, it's Haley and welcome to another bookish video. So today is the start of a vlog and I haven't vlogged in literally forever, so I'm so excited to vlog and hang out with you guys for the next week or so that I'll be filming. Today we have a super exciting vlog because all the books I'm going to be reading in this video are my 5-star predictions. At the beginning of 2022, I just had a gut feeling that a handful of books would be 5 stars. I made a video all about it. I will link it up above and down below so you can see the full list. But I'm just going to be randomly mood reading off of the books from that video, and we're going to find out if my instincts were correct and if these books are in fact 5 stars. So today I started off with For Better and Worse by Margot Hunt. And I have to say, I did not expect like huge things from this. I've heard a lot of praise from the few people that have talked about this book. You know, I just was like, do I know why I had this as a 5-star prediction? Not really. I just thought it sounded right up my alley, and that is why it is a 5-star prediction. It has legal thriller elements. It has morally gray elements. It has the like ethical dilemma, what would you do in this situation elements, and it's a domestic thriller between like dealing with the dynamics between a husband and wife. And I love domestic thrillers. I've been really craving just a salacious domestic thriller, so I picked this one up. I'll give you a little synopsis, although it is hard not to spoil anything because this book is super fast-paced. It moves really fast, and I don't even want to spoil like the first twist, which happens like probably 20 pages in, but I'll try to be as vague as possible. Basically, this book follows a couple, a married couple, and they get into a situation where something happens in the community and their family becomes a part of it because of their son. And both the husband and the wife are attorneys. The dad is more like a, I don't know, like corporate attorney, and the mom is a defense attorney. So they're both involved in the legal world. They realize with this situation that they want to avoid getting involved with the law and instead kind of go outside the law and take care of the issue themselves.
If that makes sense.
And things keep ramping up, and this book really asks the question, how far will you go for your family? So I am currently a little over halfway through. I just reached part 2. Part 1 was all from the perspective of the wife, and it looks like part 2 is going to be from Will, the husband's perspective. So I'm excited to read from him, although I do like the wife's perspective, so I'm wondering if I'm going to miss that. But it is so good so far. Like, I'm gonna go ahead and maintain now that my 5-star prediction is valid. At this point, I sit at 5 stars. I mean, I read this first half at just a couple hours, it feels like it is so fast paced. The big event that the book kind of feels like it's leading up to, you think it's gonna happen at the end, ends up happening at the halfway point, like right before part 2. And so it's like, whoa, okay, what is happening now? I'm so excited to get into the rest of this because I just have no idea how they're gonna get themselves out of it. I have no idea where this is going. Like, this is so good. I'm having so many theories pop into my head, but I feel like it's unpredictable. I love this feeling when I pick up a domestic thriller and it just feels like, yes, like it just feels like that domestic thriller feeling. That's the only way I can describe it. And if you also love domestic thrillers, I feel like you'll understand what I'm saying, where it's just like,
The neighborhood is watching through the windows. Oh my God, are they gonna get caught?
what's happening? Like, it's so tense and on edge, but also so like thrilling and exciting. Oh my God, this book is so good. I'm freaking out about it. So I really want to honestly just scrap the rest of my day and read it. But I do have to film some videos, and I also have to start dinner before Cameron gets home from work. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. But you best believe when I have an update, I will give you the update. All right, see you later. Hello vlog, I rushed through filming a video, started the soup for tonight, and ended up getting to the 75% mark. I'm literally rushing through everything I have to do so I can sit down and read this book for as long as possible. It is so good. I can't believe I only have, how many pages left? 80 pages left of this book when I feel like I just started it today.
I mean, I did just start today.
But I feel like I literally just started it. Like, it's crazy the pace that this book moves, and it's also crazy like seeing the husband and wife's like different perspectives on the situation. I don't know, like the husband kind of seemed like he cracking up, like he's not gonna back up the family, and I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Get it together. Oh my god, it is so stressful, like so thrilling. I just want to know what the hell is about to happen. So many twists pop up that I'm not expecting, and goddamn, this is so good. If you are looking for a super fast-paced, twisty domestic thriller, I feel like this is the one. Obviously, I haven't got to the end yet, so we will know if this is truly a 5-star read when we get to the end. But for now, I am really enjoying it. I'm gonna keep reading, and hopefully I will tell you my final rating, and hopefully the first book to kick off this vlog is an accurate 5-star prediction. Hello vlog, it is the next morning. I'm about to head to coffee with one of my friends, but I have an update for you. I know you probably saw the like B-roll from last night and thought,
Hailey, you were literally just watching 6 episodes of Love is Blind. There's no way you finish your book.
girl, I finished the book. I did it, and it's 5 stars. The end, I feel like, is controversial. I feel like not a lot of people are going to enjoy this ending, but I did because the ride to get there was so fun. And in the end, I feel like could be seen as anticlimactic. And I was having kind of a feeling of, is this what I wanted? I don't know. It kind of fizzled. And then I read the epilogue and I was like, oh, okay, that is bringing more of the like darkness that I wanted. And I sat and I marinated with it. And the more I started thinking about what this book was actually trying to say about like our legal system, and if you take a case to court, like what happens with it, like you kind of have to put your trust in our legal system, and it is very flawed, and like sometimes that system really hurts you, and sometimes it really serves you, and sometimes it depends on who you are if it will serve you or hurt you. And like just that commentary, I feel like was so stark by the way that it ended, like the big final twist, not in the epilogue, but in the actual book. And that part really made me think. You guys know I love that in my thrillers. And then with the epilogue bringing that darkness, it just, I feel like it did it. I feel like it did what it was trying to do. I really loved it. I'm gonna give it a 5-star. Like, this is so underrated. Y'all need to run out and find this. I literally got this for this busted copy for $2 at my local half-price books. I'm sure there are copies of this out there. Highly recommend it if you are a legal thriller lover or a domestic thriller lover like myself. So we already kicked off with a 5-star. It seems my predictions may be correct. So now I'm moving on to another trashy little thriller, because
Those are my favorite books.
Mr. Perfect by Linda Howard. Now, this is another one that I feel like is super underhyped, but Reading with Jess always talks about it, and I feel like Jessie and I do have very similar tastes when it comes to domestic thrillers. So I don't know, I just feel like it's an underrated fave. Like, those are my favorite kind of books to find and to read, because I feel like if you like the new Riley Sager, it's like, okay, bitch, yeah, everybody likes it. But if you find this underrated gem, it's like, it feels special. I don't know. The synopsis is really vague. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen here. We're basically following this group of female friends who always talk about like what would make the perfect man, like who is Mr. Perfect. And they ponder it one night at their favorite after hours hotspot. Would he be tall, dark, and handsome, caring and warm-hearted? As their conversation heats up, they concoct a tongue-in-cheek checklist that becomes an overnight sensation, spreading like wildfire at work and along emails. What began as a joke turns deadly serious when one of the four women is murdered. Turning to her neighbor, an unpredictable police detective, for help, our main character, Janie, must unmask a killer and save her friends and herself. Like, that just sounds so exciting and so, like, salacious. Like, I don't know, I just love books that feel like, like, it has to be thrilling and, like, interesting beyond twists to keep my attention. Like, the characters need to be fucked up. The situation needs to have some intrigue. Like, this whole idea of Mr. Perfect, that's very interesting to me. So I'm going to start this one at some point today. Hopefully we have another 5-star. Hello vlog, I am back with an update for you. While I was driving to coffee and doing some little chores around the house, I actually ended up getting to the halfway point in Mr. Perfect. Again, this one is super fast paced as well. And I found the audiobook through my library, so I've just been flying through it. It is super fun and fast paced. Like I said, it is just so entertaining to listen to. However, the writing style is really dated. You can just tell that this was not written recently. Let me actually see when this was published. Yeah, 2000. So this was published over 20 years ago, and it definitely shows just in the way that the women characters, and there's obviously mostly female characters, are talked about, the way that certain social things are talked about, the way that the one black character in this book is talked about. Like, you can just tell it's not spoken about with the tact and values that I feel are a little bit more widespread today than they were in the year 2000. So that is a little bit jarring to read, but I am really liking the overall plot, and I think it's entertaining and stupid. Like, it is just so fluffy. There's no substance to this whatsoever. It is really funny. There are all kinds of like jokes and like funny banter. I also didn't know that this was a romantic suspense novel, so there actually is a romance. I do like a romance in my thrillers sometimes when it's done well, and in here, I don't know if I'm quite buying the romance. It seems more like just lust, and it's kind of funny, but it's not like, I'm not intrigued. The chapters that focus on the romance are kind of boring to me. And the whole concept of like this list kind of going viral, like 2000 viral, which is like, oh, it's featured in the paper and talked about on Good Morning America. Like, this list of all the traits of the perfect man, Mr. Perfect. It's like so salacious. These women, their families, their partners, their coworkers, like, they can't believe they would talk about something so scandalous. And to me, it's like,
That's a very normal thing for women to talk about, so I don't know why.
it's like that. Like, maybe that really was scandalous for the year 2000, but it seems like very tame to be made such a big deal out of. So that's kind of weird. Again, there's just like these dated aspects to the book that I'm not loving. And also, we are already at the halfway point. I'm 200 pages in, and there's no thriller aspects that have taken place, really. This is kind of just like a funny chick lit contemporary romance at this point, other than the fact that we're getting a couple chapters, like every 5 chapters or so, there will be a chapter from the perspective of some unhinged man, but he hasn't committed a murder yet. All the women in this group are still alive and well, so I'm waiting for some kind of thriller action to kick in. But I don't hate it. I don't love it. I don't think it's gonna be a 5-star just because of the writing style and the way that things are talked about in here, but I'm definitely entertained. So I'm going to keep doing stuff around the house. I have to do some more editing, do some stuff to set up my business that I'm trying to set up. So I have a lot to do today. Hopefully I will get a chance to read more of the audiobook, and I will get back to you when I have more thoughts. Hello, Bobo. Want to say goodbye to the vlog? Say goodbye. Hello, vlog. Good morning. I literally just woke up. I didn't film a lot last night because I was spending time with Cameron. After he got home from work, I kind of just stopped what I was doing and we got to hang out a little bit and watch some stuff. We've been watching the Jeopardy, like, new college champion thing, and there's somebody on there from UT, and if you don't know, Cameron and I both went to UT. We met there, so we were rooting for him, and he made it to the semifinals. Hook 'em. So that was fun. But after he went to bed, I ended up staying up super late, which is why I'm so tired right now. But I did finish Mr. Perfect by Linda Howard because I needed to know what the fuck was going on. Like, I'm not gonna spoil it, but there was something in here that was sketchy, and I had my little spidey senses tingling that was telling me that this was sketchy, and I needed to read to figure out if my hunch was correct. And turns out it was, and I was not happy about it. Basically, the big twist of this book I thought was a little cheap and definitely could be seen as problematic. Just the way that things were done, I didn't like. One of the reveals is, I'm not gonna totally spoil it, I'm just gonna say the type of reveal it is that somebody is not who we thought they were, and they are actually a different gender than we thought. And there was some weird things about, like, in some chapters, looking back, we were using incorrect pronouns for them, and the way that the other characters talk about their gender and other pronouns, like, it was just, I thought it was just in poor taste. A lot of the things, honestly, in this book were in poor taste. This is not a book that you want to take seriously. If you read this, you want to consider when it was published, and you just don't want to take it too seriously, okay? This is a light, fluffy read, but then it's weird because it's complicated by having these, like, really dark elements, and it just feels like it didn't quite belong. I wish I would have known that this was more romantic suspense than it was a mystery thriller, because those elements definitely took a backseat to the contemporary story of these women writing the list and the romance that's going on with our main character and the investigator. It felt like this book wanted to be a Jennifer Hillier, but did not have the tact or skill to be Jennifer Hillier. So it was set up to be good. I just think the execution was not great. It really felt like a cozy mystery, so if you like that, maybe you would like this. It really reminded me of that one Cleo Coyle book that I read, which I also found some problematic things in that, but I know that series and that woman, like, very beloved, so I get it. You don't have to tell me in the comments again. I know y'all stan Cleo. If you're a Cleo stan, maybe you would like this, but it was just not for me. I can't overlook some of those things, the way that things were talked about. It just takes me out of the book. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to give this book a 2-star. We're 1 for 2 on my 5-star predictions, but this one was kind of a fail, to be quite honest. I think I'm going to go on a jog this morning because I just want to, like, kickstart the day, get my body moving, and I actually just went on the Hoopla app and I found the audiobook from my library for Neverworld Wake by Marisha Pessel, and this was another one of my 5-star predictions. It is a YA sci-fi thriller, which I know doesn't sound like something that would be 5 stars for me, but the thing about this one is it's a murder mystery. There's this group of 6 teens, they're all, like, best friends, and one of them dies, and they're kind of investigating what happened to them, but they keep living the same day over and over, like a Groundhog Day type of situation, until they figure out what happened. And I love murder mysteries. I love a group where one person goes missing. And I really love magical realism, especially the type of magical realism that messes with time. I find that I always rate books that mess with time highly, whether they are poorly written or wonderfully written. So I honestly think that this is set up for me to give it 5 stars. I love Marisha Pessel's writing style, so I'm gonna go ahead and start the audiobook on my little jog, and when I have thoughts, I will let you know what they are. I just got back from my jog, ate breakfast, hung out with the dogs a little bit. Please ignore the state of my hair. But I also got a quarter of the way through Neverworld Wake, and I'm really liking it. All of the characters in the little group of friends, they're so like quirky and unique, and they all have different ways that they're coping with the like Groundhog Day time situation. So it's cool seeing like the different ways everybody is dealing with it, what everybody's doing with their time repeating over and over. At this point, it feels like they're not even attempting to try to stop it or break it. They're just kind of like,
fuck it, we here.
And they're going crazy, you know, drinking, sneaking onto yachts, doing, you know, just getting into teenager shit, which honestly, if I had some repeating days, can't lie, I'd probably get into that too. But our main character is really frustrated, and I can see why, you know, she wants to learn how to break this cycle. But we jumped right into the action, like no hesitation. Even in the first 25%, like we've already repeated the days so many times. So I can see it happening where towards the middle and the end, this book is going to start to get super trippy, which is what I love about Marisha Pessel's writing style. I think she does that like trippy, I don't know where I am kind of writing so well. So I'm excited for that. I'm glad we jumped right into the action, and yeah, hopefully something will drop at some point. I feel like the like big incident where they find out what they need to do to break the cycle is coming. So it's like building all this anticipation. I'm really liking it so far. That is my update. I'm gonna get ready. I have to do a few things today. That is not reading, unfortunately. I'm like setting up my simple practice. I gotta make some marketing materials, and then I have my own therapy appointment. So that's what the day looks like. I don't know when the next time I'll read is, but I will probably update you at the 50% mark. Hello vlog, I am a good chunk into part 2 now, almost at the halfway point, and the story is really picking up. It's not so aimless and character driven where we're just kind of popping in on each character to see how they're doing. Now we have like a goal in mind. They figured out how to crack this like Groundhog Day type scenario, is to figure out what happened to their dead friend, how he got murdered, you know, etc., etc. So now we're flashing back and forth, and we get to see the stuff that had happened at their boarding school leading up to his death, and they're using this time loop to interview people and find out what happened. I'm really into this part of the story. I feel like it's moving really fast, and yeah, I'm not getting a 5-star feeling. Like, it's not feeling like I have to read this book for every single second, but it's really good. So that's my update. See you later. What's up, vlog? I finished all my work made that little TikTok pasta for dinner, poured myself a few glasses of wine, and finished Neverworld Wake. I can't lie, this was a little bit of a slog to get through at the end. Things were really looking up at the halfway point. That was probably the most interested that I was in my entire reading experience of Neverworld Wake, but it just never hit that like point of being like trippy and weird, which is kind of what I expected from a Marisha Pessl novel. Instead, it was like trying to be deep in that YA kind of way where the characters are like,
love is love and life is love.
Like literally stop. In my opinion, when a YA book does that, it's not great. It's really cringe. And yeah, overall, I really liked the plot. I liked how things resolved when they were figuring out the mystery of the murder. Like, I liked how that played out. I like how they discovered it. I like how the murder was explained. I thought it was pretty clever, although it's a pretty common trope that was used, but whatever. I don't have any problems with the plot really, or the characters, other than the fact that I think we really only got to know intimately our main character, and all the rest of the characters were just like these archetypes that seemed kind of like caricatures sometimes, but maybe that was intentional, I don't know. The thing that really bothered me was like the messaging in this book. I did not want to learn how to live my life from a YA thriller. I wanted a fun, fantastical time. I did like the time travel elements, and those parts were fun, but I feel like a lot of it was skipped over, and we didn't get a lot of the in the moment time traveling. When we had those scenes, the chapters were literally so short, like just like a few pages, and then it was like,
okay, well, here, 3 years in the past, and here we are.
And I'm like, no girl, like I wanted to know what the time traveling was like. I wanted more of the fantastical fantasy elements, right, Moch? Isn't that what we want, boy? Yeah, we wanted more sci-fi. So yeah, that's kind of the tea with this. I was feeling very about it, but then I thought, you know, maybe I'm just overreacting because I didn't like the way it was trying to tell me how to live my life and like teach me a life lesson. So I was gonna give it a 3. I decided I was being too harsh, and I landed on a 3.5. Mochi, will you please just settle the hell down?
Quiet on set, please.
So yes, I landed on a 3.5 stars out of 5 for Neverworld Wake. And I'm kind of discouraged, not gonna lie, because out of the 3 5-star predictions that I read in this video, 2 of them were pretty low ratings, like a 3.5 and a 2. That is not great. I feel like a 4-star and above is like, oh, that was a great book, loved it. And I only had 1 that I like really enjoyed and loved. So kind of sad, but at least we had 1 5-star book in this video. Everybody please go read For Better and Worse. It was such a great domestic thriller, and it reminded me what it is to feel that like 5-star feeling. That was really what I was hoping for with these predictions. But say lovey, that's how it goes. I'm about to head into the weekend tomorrow, and I have a pretty busy weekend, so I'm just gonna end this vlog here. Thank you guys so much for watching this journey of me reading some 5-star prediction thrillers. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you plan on reading any of the books from this video down below. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!